Hello friends, welcome again to the official YouTube channel of AshEka Financial Planners. My name is Sandeep. I am the founder of AshEka Financial Planners, and today is the 24th of March, a day when the entire country is under a lockdown and many parts of the world are also under a lockdown due to the coronavirus. It's a good time for us to reflect on our lives and also to take stock of our financial preparedness. And so I've come up with this video to share 5 precautions you could take for your financial planning during these difficult times. I'm going to start with the most difficult of these points, and towards the end it would be much easier. The first point that I'm going to talk about is, or the first suggestion or advice I would like to give to you, it's something that many of you would not like to listen to. It may sound a bit scary, but nonetheless very practical. Write a will. I know it sounds very gross when someone tells you that, look, you may not be around for too long, but anything could happen in such a situation. The pandemic could go worse, and I'm obviously hoping and praying it doesn't, but in case it does, if you happen to move on without writing a will, then your family, your loved ones would be in severe distress to lay their hands on your property, your wealth, your money. So write a will. Registering a will is not mandatory in India. You can write a simple will, and there are many online platforms where you could also write and let someone know that you have written this will. You could write an e-will and share it with some a close family member or a close friend, but just ensure you write a will so that there is no problem when you if unfortunately you are not to be around and your family needs to get your funds and your assets. I have come across quite a few people whose family members have left without writing a will. Technically it's called died intestate, and the family has suffered very badly at the hands of authorities, because the process is to lay the hands on the deceased person's wealth and property and money is pretty long, and it could take years and years together. So please, if you have something of your own which you would like to pass on to your loved ones, please write a will. The second point I'd like to advise you on is to register a nominee. Okay, register a nominee. Forgive my handwriting, but I hope you can understand from that. You would have bank accounts, you'd have mutual fund holdings, you'd have shareholdings, you would also have life insurance policies, health insurance policies. Registering a nominee is very, very important, because without registering a nominee, once again, your loved ones, your immediate dependents would find it very difficult to get that. For example, banks can pass on the amount to the legal heirs to some extent, but it's up to their discretion. So if it's about, say, below 50,000 rupees that's lying in the bank account of the deceased account holder, then probably the bank could decide to just give the money to you without much of a hassle. But it's again on the discretion of the financial institution. They might insist on a legal heir certificate, and to get a legal heir certificate once again takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money and a lot of patience as well. You might want to avoid such difficulties. Just register a nominee. A nominee is someone who's appointed to receive your funds. They don't technically become the owners, so that is why writing a will is important. So suppose you leave behind some money in your account and you appoint a nominee, for example, your spouse or your first child. They don't become the legal owners of the money. They're just someone who is nominated to receive the funds on the behalf of the legal heirs. And now if you have more than one legal heir, then there could arise a situation when there may be differences between the legal heirs on the amount of share that each of them has to get. So it's better to write a will mentioning what you want to go to whom, mentioning how much you want to give to whom, and and then also registering a nominee so that there is no problem for them to access your property. The third one is make a list. Yes, make a list, probably on an Excel sheet, Word document, or whatever. Make a list of all the accounts that you have in whatever banks, all the mutual funds. Write down the account number or the customer ID, because quite often it happens that many people do not even tell their family members how many accounts they have, what they have in each account. And when they pass away, the family members don't even get to know where the money has been kept and whose hands does it go to. It lies with the banks, and after some years it goes into an account where the government keeps that money waiting for someone to claim it. And the point I'm trying to make is, if you're not around, someone in your family needs to know what you had where, and make a list, share it with some trusted family member, trusted friend, or maybe just print it and keep it in your file or something. If you were not to be around, then probably your family would know whatever is there and they can claim it, and they will really thank you for this if you do this. The fourth point, okay, now we're moving to the part which is not so scary, of course. It is get a term life insurance. A term life insurance is not only important during these difficult times, but also at any point of time you need to have a term life insurance. Once again, very quickly, to tell you what a term life insurance is, it's a product which only covers the risk of your death, untimely death. So if you were to pass away before the term completes, for example, if you're 30 years old and if you take a 40-year term policy, so you will be covered until the age of 70, which is what most people in the private sector tend to work around 65, 70. So if you were to pass away before that, any point of time before that, your family would suffer because they wouldn't be able to receive the income that you are generating all these years. And not only for that point of time, but also for the remaining number of years that you would have earned had you been alive. So it's very important that the family's lifestyle and the income is not affected, and that is why you should get a term life insurance. And if you survive the policy term, you don't get anything, but fair enough, you pay low premiums, you get high coverage, and your risk is covered, and that is what the insurance company is charging you for. So even now, it's very, very important, get a term life insurance. Chances are that if you are earning a particular amount of money and you do not have any pre-existing health issues, you don't have anything that could make a medical test mandatory, then companies could still give you health insurance without making you undergo a medical test. So you should immediately look at getting a term insurance in case you don't have, so that if the unthinkable happens, then your family will at least be grateful that you made a term insurance, if not for anything else. Because apart from being mentally very affected, they should not also be affected financially, and that's the point of having term insurance. So if you are someone who is healthy at the moment without any pre-existing health issues, go for a term insurance. Even during this time, there are companies that will give you term insurance without even undergoing a medical test, provided there are certain other things in your favor, like your income, your age, and so on. I will leave in the descriptions some suggestions on where to get such kind of term insurance, so please check out that as well. And the last point that I would like to advise you on, of course, is definitely not the least, it is the most important: health insurance. Our government medical system can only accommodate a certain number of people during this epidemic. As of now, 490 cases have already been confirmed in India, and the government hospitals will be overwhelmed with patients if this were to spread. I just read a bit of news today which says that private hospitals in Bangalore have allocated about 30% of their ICU beds for COVID-19 patients. A situation may arise when you would not have place to go to government hospitals and get free treatment. You would have to go to private hospitals. Situation may arise when you have to spend a lot of money for your treatment. If you are someone with comorbidities, if you have diabetes, hypertension, BP, or heart problems, or have had cancer in the past, then the chances of you going into severe symptoms are pretty high, and you might need ventilator support and so on. So the point I'm trying to make is keep yourself insured. Your premiums are low, get a sufficient health cover, and do not fall into a financial distress if you were to get hospitalized. Please understand that the premium that you're paying is way too little compared to what you would pay if you get hospitalized. Do not take this lightly. Once again, if you are someone who do not have any health issues, you're healthy, any age, you would get health insurance without a medical test, and you can get it online. Once again, I'll leave in the description box where you can get these health insurance policies. You would get a policy within a day, and you'd be safe from any kind of financial problem in case you fall into some sort of a depressing health issue. Well, I know it was very difficult to make this video because some of the points here are not something we'd like to hear, not something we'd like to think about, but nevertheless it's very, very practical. As a financial planner, there's no better way to say this. I have to look at financial planning holistically and give you suggestions from all angles. So once again, please go through these points, write a will, register a nominee, make a list of whatever you have, get yourself a term life insurance, and most importantly, get yourself a health insurance policy. Thank you for watching. Please comment on the video if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer. You could also send me a mail on hello@asheka.in. Thank you for watching. If any of you watching this have symptoms of COVID-19, I pray to God that you will recover very quickly, and I once again pray to God that none of us get affected and the whole world overcomes this difficult time very, very quickly. God bless you. God bless us all. Thank you so much.